Hi, in this chapter 7, we're talking about building responsible knowledge. Responsible is a synonym of ethical, and it also includes things as accuracy, verifying information that you gather from various sources, and using triangulation as a method of verifying some piece of information by going to at least 2 or 3 different sources to confirm. The elements of responsible knowledge include looking at the main issues or features of your topic and making sure that they're all accurate, that they're correct, that you're going to the most respected authorities on the topic and listening to what they have to say on the issues that you're covering, that you're following the latest development in science and local applications of laws and rules, regulations, thinking about how your topic affects other people, specifically your audience, how it impacts their lives, and on any topic that has different perspectives on a given issue, in other words, controversial topics, you look at the most prominent, the most convincing opposing views. Things that would be easy to verify. The first steps of your search, your responsible information gathering, is to look at what you already know. What's your prior knowledge? What's your prior experience? What have you already learned from your own personal life or from literature, from other classes? Then you find the gaps in your knowledge, set your research objective based on those gaps, the needs. What else is it that you need to find out? And how can you fill your information with more detail, with more specifics, more updates to make it more convincing and specifically to make it more responsible? Evaluating each piece of your findings means asking the question, where does it come from? What is it worth? What does it do to the coverage of my topic? How does it enrich the conversation on this particular issue? And finally, recording your findings in a way that is clear without dumping literal citations from a given source. You translate that into understandable language and present it to your audience in a way that is simple, clear, easy to absorb. So there are 3 ways of searching for more information. One is through the internet, second would be through libraries, and third would be conducting personal interviews. Searching on the internet is really easy, and everyone does that. Using your smartphones, you can Google something, you can look at media coverage. Sometimes people like going to social media, but remember that those sources can be unreliable. And although we all use Google, we need to remember, especially those of us who study media more closely, that Google is based on an algorithm that is not objective. It can be a little biased. So if you go deeper into Google, you'll discover Google Scholar and other specific branches of Google that give you more information. There is this thing called LexisNexis. It's a database, and many of you may have worked with it for your other classes. So that's a good place to find anything that has been written in the media on a given topic. The Lexis part of LexisNexis is legal information, a legal database. You can find legal cases pertaining to the same topic. Finally, there are encyclopedias that you can access online and also in physical form. And one of the most popular ways of learning about specific regulations or histories of organizations of ideas, going to organizational websites. That is the most direct way of learning about something that comes from a group of people. So those people probably have a presence online, and by going to their organizational site, you'll learn a lot about them. The second place would be to go to a physical library or an online library. In that sense, I would really strongly encourage you to ask a librarian for help when you're conducting a search. The Mill Library has a very rich online presence, and it has databases galore, which you can search alphabetically with keywords. Don't be afraid to look at physical books and publications, because those are a good source of information, and reliably so. And evaluate your library sources, again, from the perspective of reliability. When were they first published? When were they updated? Who is the author? And what is the purpose? What is the goal of that publication? By answering those questions, you'll make sure that they're not fake, that they're not biased, and that they're not propaganda, to put it simply. The third and the last way to gather information is the simplest one: conducting personal interviews. You can find people in your own community who know a lot about the subject. So usually we do this portion of our searches, our research, at the very end, once we have learned everything that there is online in libraries and books. Then you can go to your local databases or local organizations' websites, your local government, your local community, the college, and see if there are any experts on the matter that you're exploring. Being on a college campus is a clear and strong advantage for all of us now, and it will be later if you can continue your education in grad school, or if you end up working near a college campus. It is very easy to pick up the phone and call up an expert on any topic, be it politics, be it geography, be it nutrition, be it medicine. Just call the experts who are usually residing or teaching at your local college or local university, or even a distant one. You can use video conferencing nowadays. It's a more popular way of communication, as we all know from our online teaching. If necessary, use the regular phone, use FaceTime, Skype. Many media organizations are using Skype because of its clarity. The audio and video are passable. Well, audio better than video. And so you can not only gather information, but also record it and have a reference point for the future when you need to use excerpts of your conversation, maybe on a different occasion. Save those conversations in your own archives. So that concludes our very brief conversation about conducting responsible research.